Well, how about giving the ultimate gift of love this Valentine's Day by becoming an organ donor? Capital Legacy has teamed up with the Organ Donor Foundation to offer the opportunity to register as a donor when drafting your will. So how does this all work, and how willing are people to actually do this? Well, let me speak to an expert. I'm joined by Brandon Garbutt, MD, the Managing Director at Capital Legacy. Brandon, good morning to you. It almost seems a bit morbid to discuss being an organ donor on Valentine's Day, but it's such an important discussion to have because there just aren't enough registered organ donors, are there? Good morning.
100%. Hi, you, Gareth, and welcome to all the viewers. Yeah, so, I mean, as you're saying, I mean, I was hearing your previous piece, a bit of the morbid side of things, of how things are at the moment with COVID. But what we've done is we've obviously teamed up with the Organ Donor Foundation. Capital Legacy, we're the largest provider of wills and estate administration in South Africa at the moment. We're currently helping almost 10,000 people a month with regards to getting their wills valid and up to date. And it's sort of when we were connected with the Organ Donor Foundation about 3 years ago, it's kind of a natural fit. When you're starting to have a discussion with someone when you're drafting their will about the legacy that they want to leave. And I mean, our whole payoff line is leave a legacy. And what better legacy to leave than trying to help someone and give someone a second chance in life by being able to donate your organs when you pass away and try and help someone. And when we did this, I mean, the figures are startling. We need probably about 3 million organ donors in South Africa currently in order to keep up with the amount of organs that are needed from a transplant perspective. And we have less than 1% of people in South Africa that are actually organ donors. That attributes to not even 300,000 people. So we're not even sort of 10% of the way there to reach that number of 3 million.
Did you get the sense, Brandon, once you guys teamed up as Capital Legacy with the Organ Donor Foundation, that most people didn't even know that you could put into your will wanting to be an organ donor? Most people, at least to my mind, would have thought it's where you're going to leave your money or your debt or your car. I don't think many people even realize you can do that in a final testament and will.
100%. So, I mean, whenever we do talks, we always talk about, how you should draft a will and what you got in. And as you just said, Gareth, everyone thinks always it's about money and assets. But it's actually more than that. It's how you want to, if I can say, the way you want to leave this earth. It's about leaving that legacy. And at Capital Legacy, we've kind of made it very easy. It's a simple tick box that when one of our consultants are sitting in front of you and you're drafting the will, it's 2 minutes. We say, would you like to be an organ donor member? The person simply says yes. We tick the box. And we actually do everything for you. So we'll do the registration. We connect you with the organ donor. The Organ Donor Foundation are great. They send you all the paraphernalia to make sure that you are an organ donor member. So that when you do pass away, that day does arrive. It's hassle-free and you're a registered member and you can actually help someone. So yes, we try and make it very easy. It's woven into our conversation or our consultation we have with the client when we sit down with you. And as I said, it takes 2 minutes. It doesn't cost you anything to tick that box.
I think that's going to be actually my next question to you. Is there a charge involved in this? Because often people start getting worried when it comes to wills and testaments and leaving assets. They start panicking a little bit. Brandon, in the last question I have for you, since the relationship between yourself, Capital Legacy, and the Organ Donor Foundation came in, have you seen an uptick of organ donors? Are you seeing more people being more willing now that they know how easy and how free it is to change the life of someone even once you're gone? Are you seeing an uptick?
Yeah, so I mean, in the last 3 years, Gareth, since we've really done the connection with the Organ Donor Foundation, we alone have sort of contributed just over 50,000 members to the Organ Donor Foundation, which we're really chuffed about. I mean, last month, I think, as I said, the marketing department, I think, will love me for this, but I think we contributed just over 1,091 members just last month in January alone to the foundation. And we've contributed almost or in excess of 700,000 Rand in the last 3 years to the foundation. And that's for continuous education. I mean, as you just said, people don't know what they don't know. So we've contributed over 700,000 Rand to try and get the message out. And I think during this month of February, we're running a campaign, which I'm really proud of because our staff has really got behind it, where we said Valentine's Day is more than just sort of chocolate hearts. It's about giving your heart away. And you'll see a lot on our social media. You'll see pictures of our staff who are looking fantastic, actually. holding up placards with messages of saying, become an organ donor member, give someone a second chance at life, and give your heart away, which is a campaign that we're running.
Brandon, I actually am going to put the last question to you, if you don't mind me asking this. You're the MD of Capital Legacy, MD as in Managing Director, not medical doctor. I'm not asking you a medical doctor's question, but what has the issue now been with COVID-19, those who've had it and donating their organs? Are you able to tell me?
Yeah, so I think what COVID's done is actually brought mortality to the fore. And what I mean by that, I think I've always said before that South Africans seem to have the Superman complex where we always think it's never going to happen to me. And, you know, with regards to will, we've always thought, well, I'll do it later, it's for another time, let me put it on the back burner. And what this really has done, COVID, has actually brought a person's mortality to the fore. So we actually have seen an uptick in terms of the amount of people wanting to do their wills. As I said, we're doing sort of 10,000 wills a month now. And that's sort of from about April last year when COVID really hit. But an interesting stat, just to finish off, is if you're an organ donor, and I think this is what people don't really understand, is that one person giving their organs away when they pass away can assist 7 people with regards to giving them a second chance. That's 7 lives that you're actually affecting when you actually become an organ donor member.
Just on the question, though, very briefly, Brandon, can people who've had COVID, can they be an organ donor? Do you know?
Yes, I mean, obviously, once you have recovered, you know, you go for all your normal medical testing. Once you've recovered, you've recovered. It's dependent on things like if you were going to donate your lungs, what is the functionality of your lungs? Would it actually function if it was to be transplanted, etc.? So, I mean, all of that would obviously be tests done before any transplant would take place.
I appreciate your time in speaking to us and clarifying such an important question to ask about COVID-19 and organ donation. Mr. Brandon Garbutt, Capital Legacy MD, joining us this morning. Wonderful initiative, Brandon. You and the team also teaming up with Organ Donor Foundation, asking those who are not organ donors to go and sign up, go and register, get more information, really, about being an organ donor. He is the MD of Capital Legacy, joining us here on eNCA.